Hello, I hope you can hear me. Philly edits AE. Hello. Good afternoon. I am an infant. Hello. Good afternoon. Can you guys hear me? I'm using my mic, so I'm not sure if it's clear since it's a little windy. As you can see, you're taking a walk or something. I am, because in Seattle it's been raining for like literally since Thanksgiving. So this is the first day that we're not getting like flooded. And so you're going to see soon that a lot of people are out just because we finally get the opportunity to be. I can hear you. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for liking. But yes, we're taking a walk. I usually do this when it's hot out, but like I said, we've been holed up inside. So taking a walk. Don't know what I'm going to get into, to be honest. Thanksgiving. You know, literally. It's a misconception that Seattle rains a lot. It is a misconception, but it has been raining a lot. Like literally, I went to Thailand after Thanksgiving. It was raining. We got flooded while I was gone. I came back. It's been raining ever since. As you can see, the sky still looks a little not that great. So I don't know if it's going to rain today. Hopefully it won't. But yeah, everyone's going to be out here pretty soon because it's finally dry. I get to a good spot, we can probably stop. Maybe show you guys some things, show you something positive about Seattle. A lot of the stuff I see online is not positive, so just show everybody that we're not all being overrun by, people on drugs. We do have that, but it's not what we're portrayed as for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And weirdly enough, a lot of people don't know just how sleepy the city is. Just like a little sleepy port city. And I really think, especially since 2020 with Chaz and Chop or whatever you call it, when everybody was rioting and stuff, that's kind of the image that we took on, but we are very far from that. People were just on one back then. There's a lot going on. Yeah, I'm trying to think of my biggest complaint, having actually been there, and I don't really have one, just like too much rain. Yeah, you must have gotten unlucky. Like, you can really get unlucky if you visit. Like, if you had visited in the last, like I said, 3 weeks, I would have been pissed. Imagine you come here to go to Pike Place. This is probably the best time to go to Pike Place because all the tourists are gone. But imagine you want to go to hike an index, and then that's not possible because of the floods. They just fixed Highway 2, actually, but a lot of the highways collapsed, and it was just not good. 7 days of rain nonstop. Yeah. It's so depressing after a while, too. Like, we did drought this year, so part of me is like, okay, we kind of need this. I wish it were snow instead, just so that we're not so soggy. I don't know. So I don't know. I heard the weekend's not going to be raining. So excited for that because most people here do like to be outdoors, no matter the season. So you can get pretty depressed being stuck inside. See, what is that? Is that a hand? Anxious Spice Girl. Hey, welcome. Good afternoon. I like your name, by the way. Anxious Spice Girl. It's hilarious. I went to a music festival 200 miles away, so I still had a good time. 200 miles away. Hey, Bo, Happy New Year. Sandra. Oh my God. Where have you been, Sandra? Haha. It is a hand, a relatively large one, and thank you. Sandra, where have you been? Are you all right? Happy New Year. I feel like I haven't seen you since like June, maybe July. Good to see you back. LOL, I've been around. Have you? Have you been in the bushes? You know everyone's looking for you. That's funny. I'm good. I'm glad you're good. That's really funny. I don't blame you. I'm not going to lie. I don't blame you for just sort of cocooning a little bit. The internet's been very toxic. Very toxic. I just haven't been in Lexi's chat. Oh, okay. LOL, really? Oh my gosh. Have you been on the internet? Terrible. Terrible. Or unless you're saying, oh, really, to people looking for you, yes. Everyone's like, how's Sandra doing? I'm just showing everybody Seattle since it stopped raining for the first time in like 20 days. Let me not film. The good stuff doesn't actually start until we pass Fremont. Well, the good stuff, in my opinion, rather. What's the goal you're most excited about this year? Right, we're supposed to be manifesting. I was warming everybody up. For me, the one I'm most excited about, I'm actually not allowed to say, but the one I'm second most excited about and it's going to sound cliche because I say this every year, but I do want to lose 30-ish pounds. It wouldn't hurt me to do that. I think that one is the one that I want to succeed in the most. I definitely know the internet is, oh yeah, drink zero soda. Right, so I don't drink, okay, zero soda. Let me not lie. Because I do have like, do you just mean like Coke and Sprite and like Pepsi? Because I have like fizzy drinks, like drinks made with carbonated water and then like flavoring. So does that count? Honestly, I'm willing to do anything except Ozempic to lose some weight, to be honest. Yes, the internet is definitely a cesspit. I was trying to gain weight. I cut off soda and lost 15 pounds. So does that mean that you were drinking a lot of it then? Because, I mean, I drink like tea. I don't drink alcohol. I drink tea, sometimes juices, like squeezed ones, not necessarily Minute Maid or anything. That's so real. Maybe 8 ounce 5 times a week. 5 times a week, 8 ounces. I mean, that's like a, I guess it's not that bad. See, I drink it very rarely, but I do have some vices, and that is, I could go without soda. I definitely need to just, I'm trying to eat less. Like I eat all of my meals basically at home. I eat out like maybe 4 times a month, but it's the overeating that gets me. I don't eat crazy at all, but I eat a lot. Once a day at work max, but not even every time. I had to cut out soda last week because it got so expensive. It is so expensive last year. It's so expensive. That's so real. I also want to lose weight. I'm currently focusing on nutrition before adding in intense exercise. Right. And nutrition is my biggest thing. It's what I struggle with the most because I exercise literally every day. I'm up like, so the nutrition is a struggle. It's hard. Which is another reason why I'm out here, because I've also fallen into the habit of working. I work from home and then just bed rotting right after. Pop a bag of popcorn, scroll TikTok, the worst. So it's good that I'm like doing something different now that it's not raining. Who does majority of the cooking? Eating out is so convenient, but I'd love to move it down to once a week. I do all of the cooking. My husband does not know how to cook. He doesn't know how to cook, and if I leave it up to him, he would live off of pepperoni pizza and bratwurst. So I do all the cooking, and it's healthy. It's like a good mix of vegetables and like carbs, meat, all that stuff. But I just eat so much. And then we do buy snacks. That's my issue. We buy snacks. Candy is my biggest thing. I eat a lot of candy. Sugar in general is a vice. Yes, popcorn, right. And it's so low in calories and like, I mean, it doesn't really do much for you at all, but it's something to like munch on. You guys, these puddles are not going to dry for like a month. I was doing high-speed math at 2 a.m. for work, so I needed my caffeine. So I just started taking caffeine pills or unsweetened green tea. Caffeine pills are kind of dangerous, right? At least get some pleasure from the caffeine and drink a Coke or a coffee. I feel like they're very overdosable, if that's even a word. Caffeine pills, And do you get those over the counter or do you gotta get a prescription? If you can get those over the counter, that's wild. No, if you only take a little with a meal in a bottle. Oh, okay, so you're responsible to actually read the dosing. That's good. I feel like it would scare me because, I don't know, maybe it'd be a high concentration. Prince 894, hello. Hi. That's so interesting. And caffeine too, the pills probably help you lose weight, doesn't it? Like it helps you suppress your appetite, I heard. If that's the case, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. That's interesting though. Yeah, lol, they do have some crazy dose caffeine pills. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'd be super afraid and anxious. I'm already anxious. If I don't drink coffee with a meal, I'm shaken. So, I don't know. But you gotta do what you gotta do if you're working at 2 a.m. doing math. Like, the concentration's probably on point after a caffeine pill. Like 70 milligrams is a good coffee. Is good. A coffee is like 100 milligrams. Right. Not me about to start drinking coffee. Anxious. Do you drink coffee? I had no idea caffeine helps you lose weight. I try to avoid. It's an appetite suppressant. So, I mean, I wouldn't suggest doing that, but it does, it does suppress it a little bit. Now, I think once you gain a tolerance, you might be able to start eating normally, to be honest. But when you first start, yeah, you'll definitely notice a difference in your appetite. Nope, I don't drink coffee. I run off of pure vibes. I mean, if you're anxious, it's not the best anyway. I'm very anxious, but I drink coffee. But I have to limit it to 1 cup a day, and it's a small cup. It's like the ounces are like, it's small ceramic mug. Caffeine and sugar are both appetite suppressants. Sugar? And you have to eat a lot of the right foods to get all your nutrients. That's why those can be a problem. I didn't know sugar was. And yeah, so that's another goal that I have. Nutrients. As you guys have seen in my videos, hi, Rashi Pariani 6884, hello. As you guys know, if you see my videos, I have dark eyes. Like I look like freaking L. I look like L from Death Note. And I was asking my doctor, I was like, am I missing a vitamin? Because like I don't get the best sleep, right? But I've been getting better. And I asked my doctor and they were like, take a multivitamin. Like I obviously should have been doing that. Look at these houseboats, you guys. These boats are like $2 million. You're teaching me something new, Fred Uckers. I had no idea sugar was a suppressant either. Right. You guys look at this. These are houseboats. People live like this. Look at this. Those houses are like $2 million. And it's right next to Gasworks, which is like, you see the hill back there? I don't know if I can zoom this. Yeah, that hill back there, it's a lot bigger. when you get closer, and you can see like the little structure there. That's where like they do fireworks and all that stuff. And they just live right off of it. Crazy. I feel like I would get seasick in my own living room. But 2.8 million, that's Seattle living. Yeah, I'm giant, so it's actually a task for me to eat enough food. So I have to know these things. Whoa, how tall are you? I'm giant is hilarious. My younger brother's pretty big. He's like 6'4", and he does eat a ton as well. 6'6". Oh yeah, you're big. Yeah. My younger brother's 6'4", and he eats a ton. It's so annoying. Like, I get you can't help it, but like, damn. I couldn't imagine. Like, feeding men in general is hard because if they're not picky, they eat a ton, or they're both, right? Feeding men is hard. But then getting food to last, being able to afford to feed men, oh my God. Mm. Yeah, 6'6" is pretty big. Look at that. So this area, it's like empty right now, but mega yachts like to park here. These are not the mega yachts. They're yachts, but not mega. They're from Alaska, these two. But sometimes really, really big boats come and they take up this whole space. It's crazy. Yeah, I just don't have the appetite to eat the amount I should eat most of the time. Oh, so you're forcing yourself to eat. That's interesting. See, I could use some appetite issues in the negative. I have a very big appetite. I could use a smaller appetite. I could use that. I struggle. It must be nice, Fred Uckers. I couldn't miss a meal if I tried. Exactly. Exactly. Me neither. It's hard. I couldn't miss a meal if I tried. That's hilarious. It is 1:37. My protein requirements go over 3 meals worth of protein for the day. Are you an athlete? You said you're doing math at 2 in the morning. What do you do for work? Oh, are you like you work from home? I work from home, and sometimes when I work with my coworkers in Italy and India, yeah, I'm up pretty early in the morning to talk to them. So are you working a global company from home and you have a weird sleep schedule? That's also why I'm not working right now and it's only 1:30. I start my day at 6, sometimes 5:30. Any other goals you're excited for or anything you're aiming for this year that you've tried in the past that weren't successful? Yes. I'm trying not to just like talk about money, but I do have a goal to invest. I want to double my individual investment account. So right now it's at, well, when we last spoke, it was at like, I don't remember, 27,000, I think, the last time we spoke. We ended up getting that to 30,000 before the year ended. And now it's at 37,000. Now that's a big jump because this month is a 3 paycheck month. So we've been like really throwing money at it. So I want to double that though. So I want to get it to 60 by the end of the year. I don't know how we're going to do that. Hopefully the gains will help. And then I also want to get my emergency fund of 50 grand. And I don't know if I don't know how that's going to be happening. I'm not sure because I don't make enough to do that and invest the amount that I want to. So those are stretches, but we're going to see what we can do. Yeah, so you can only absorb 50 grams of protein at a time. Since my health weight is like 185 minimum, that's 4 meals. Dang. I was table games dealer, but I do a lot of stuff on the side. Oh, okay. So your life is not boring. That sounds unconventional, which is great. The opposite of me. Did everything I was told. I work not a boring job, but like it sounds boring, right? Biology. Games dealer, games table dealer. That sounds cool. I'm sorry if you can hear the seaplanes. Trying to decide if I want to go up next to the street or I think I'm going to go on the lower path so that people driving don't see me. That's what I wanted to do. What, you wanted to do table games or you wanted to be a biologist? You wanted to be a biologist? I get so much flack for my choice. I've never heard someone say I wanted to be a biologist. But I like it too. I like being a scientist. I don't like the idea that it's my identity, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what I would do if I weren't in STEM. I don't know how I would contribute to society, to be honest. The thought makes me uncomfortable. So yeah, it's not fun, but it pays the bill. The fun jobs when we were younger don't pay, but you make the good friends, and then you leave those jobs and it just never feels the same, but you can pay your bills. So it's like the typical trade-off in STEM. Yeah, that pharmacology. Ooh, that or pharmacology. My hands are cold. Mine too. I have gloves, but they're not tech friendly. Pharmacology is hard. Biology sounds cool. You're a scientist, right? I've always loved sciencey women on TV shows. Growing up, your girl don't have those types of smarts. Look, you don't have to be. You really don't. You hone it. I mean, maybe there's like a baseline, right? Growing up, I did like reading and I liked playing with bugs and stuff like that. But I think my parents saw that and they jumped on it, right? So it's not really about your intelligence per se, but your interest. And that interest has to push you beyond the classes and the requirements that are like not the most desirable. You got to be the kind of person who never stops asking why at 4. Right. Yeah, I mean, the want to know things is there. You definitely have to have that. That's true. That's true. We're always seeking, and working in the cancer research industry is a weird juxtaposition because as a biologist, you want to ask the questions, but then in cancer research or in the pharmaceutical industry, you might not like the answers you get, or you can get punished for asking certain questions, or you know the answers and you can't tell those answers because you're within the industry. It's a sticky sitch. But like I said, it pays the bills. That is the Aurora Bridge. A very notorious street, apparently. I don't frequent that area, so I haven't seen anything, but everyone always has something negative to say about Aurora. They say things like streetwalkers and all the stuff you hear about Seattle. Apparently, you'd see it up there. If you just go beyond there, just keep going, you'll see some things apparently. Now I'm trying to decide if I want to go up the stairs into Fremont or straight through the canal trail. Then I'm going to go up the stairs. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Oh, are you AI? What, cancer research? You know it's never too late to get in. I mean, the industry is suffering right now because of the are you new here? Fred, I think you're new here. I'm not AI. That's funny. Am I AI? I'm tired of that word too. I'm tired of AI. But yeah, you can still get in. I mean, I've been in the industry for, what do you think, since 2016? So it's about 10 years now. And I mean, depending on your credentials, you can skip around, maybe even join industry first. I started in a university healthcare system, and that's the fun stuff. You get to work with patients and you meet your buddies there. I'm sorry if you can hear me breathing. Oh, okay. Busy. All right. You still can. You can still do it. So this bridge, one time when it was hot, I was on it walking past, and I guess the person in that tower didn't see me, and they started lifting it. I screamed so freaking loud. I was like, "You're trying to kill me?" I was so scared. All good, you're human, breathe away. Would you ever switch jobs to be more aligned to the more fun side of your work? Whew. Yes, I would. You know, I really would have liked to be like a park ranger. They have biologist jobs there. I really wanted to do that at Yosemite in California, but I'm glad I didn't because, I mean, a lot of stuff's been defunded, right? So it's not ideal. Pay money to get a job. It is a dream, though. That's a good point. You mean like to go to school and stuff? Yeah, that's true. But I have a friend who was able to get in, at least to the university health system. And when I say that, I mean you probably know Fred, but for the people listening, just a hospital that's attached to a university. So when I started, I was in Chicago, so I worked at Northwestern, and you want to go for the NCI designated ones because those are the ones that are like excellent for cancer treatment, and you have to uphold that NCI designation, right? I also lived in Denver, so the university healthcare system there was Anschutz Medical Campus. And then now in Seattle, we have Fred Hutch and University of Washington. Those are both NCI. And they work together. It's kind of like a conglomerate between them and Seattle Children's. But anyway, I say that to say that I do have a friend who was able to get in, and she does not have a degree. She did not finish school. So you could probably do it. If you're making a good amount now, you're probably not going to want to, though, because you deal with a lot of BS and you're paid not very well to begin. But really, these days, it's about connection. There's Google, the old Google building. We are in Fremont. I work in healthcare consulting, so I actually work with a lot of university hospital systems. I like them as an idea. You should look. It's good, secure work. It's good stuff. Very good, secure work. And I mean, healthcare administration in general is good. It's a good place to land if you're like a biologist or a healthcare admin major and you don't know what to do with your degree. A lot of people go in and they don't know what they're going to do. Like I thought I'd be mixing chemicals, right? I was trying to get lab jobs. There's an ambulance coming. But yeah, healthcare consulting is interesting. I looked into that too. I'm not entirely privy to consulting. Like it seems so obscure to me. Like I can't wrap my head around it. I don't know if it's just my left brain not knowing what that is. But I know consultants make pretty good money. Healthcare consultants make an all right amount. I heard consulting's really hard too, like for your mental health. Let's see if I can cross the street. I can't. I started out wanting to work with patients, then decided I probably would be better off with research when I got older. Yes. The patients are hard because you never know what you're going to get. And then some of them, well, most of them, it's like the worst time of their lives. So you're kind of a punching bag a little bit. And you can't, you know, when you're working, you can't really defend yourself. It's not professional, right? So it really builds on your empathy. And it shows you the bigger picture. And for me, it also just keeps me aware. Well, it makes me paranoid about things going on in my own body, to be honest. But also when you go to the hospital with friends or family and they're not as privy to the way of healthcare and hospitals and stuff like that, it helps you be a good advocate for them. So that's pretty good. I love this place to eat. The people are friendly and the food is good. I love Fremont. Look at how cute it is. I don't know if the camera doesn't do it justice, but Fremont is cute, I promise. This cafe here, it's vegan now, but they also have a food bank. So they give food out to the people in need, which is very nice. It honestly sucks if you're looking for job fulfillment, but you're correct that it's decent money. Healthcare consultants are basically looking to see where the hospital is losing money and fix it. Ooh, yeah, that's hard. H2OP, Mayana Hager. You caught alive. I get what you mean, anxious Spice Girl. I get what you mean about the fulfillment. Oh, they're mad at each other. Look at them. They're like fighting. But yeah, in terms of fulfillment, I get what you mean, especially when you really want to do something else. And then you're just caught between wanting to do what you want to do and being able to afford what you need, right? So that's why people call it golden handcuffs. Finally caught you live. You did. You did, H2O. I know I usually go live at weird times. And I'm trying to do it more too. I'm trying to do it more. I'm trying not to bed rot. Like, look how cute this is. Use books. Look at that. How cute is that? And then you got your records. I'm just going to go up to the top of this hill here. That part. Right. Right. Seriously. I get it. And I'm just now being able to reconcile with the fact that I have to work, right? It's just so bizarre how, I don't want to say unfair, but just it's unsettling how you have to work to survive. Like, I get it, right? I do what I need to do, but when I think about it, ugh, I hate it. And so that's why I invest a ton, because I want to, you know, retire when I want. I want to be work optional. And I was lucky enough to marry someone who loves his job. He doesn't even want to stop working. That's great. I want to stop yesterday. But I do what I got to do, you know? I'm just now getting over that idea that like you do what you have to. Girl, I had that epiphany last year. Like, dang, I guess I gotta dream of. No, really. Last year was when I did it too. Last year was that for me too. I turned 32 and I was like, dang. But then also it's like when I was 24, I'd been out of college for like what, 2 years. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. Like, I can't do it. It'd be nice to be able to be like a park ranger once I get to like a work optional situation. That'd be nice. Because then I'd be like, oh my gosh, I really wanted to work. There's a few things I wanted to do with my degree that now I'm glad I didn't choose. I wanted to work at a museum. I was interning at them a lot. Very unstable. They always have to have funding and it's tricky. But that's research, right? So I was working at the Field Museum with the reptiles in the basement. It was super cool, but you can't pay your bills with cool. And then I wanted to work at the zoo. I wanted to get my master's and be a procurer. The people who basically build the land masses for the animals, but then also rescue the animals, bring them to the zoo. And then I worked in emergency medicine for a little bit. I loved working in the emergency room, but it wasn't, best environment. It was just intense. Seeing people die and like giving people CPR and they still die. Or you give them CPR, the family finds the DNR, you have to let them die. Like, there's a lot going on. So I was like, okay, maybe not this. And then I fell into healthcare tech, which led me to cancer research. All of that within like 2 years, 3-4 years maybe. Because I was in college for part of it. What would you do if you didn't work? Me, I travel and just work out and watch TV. In the summer, I paddleboard half the day. I take longer walks. So, and you know, that's a good question because a lot of people, they stop working and they're like, what do I do? I would travel. I would definitely travel. I would never be in one spot. I would always be at a cabin. I already work out. I guess I would do that too. I would travel, make YouTube content. I have a few hobbies. I write blogs. I play instruments. I would do all that stuff. I would home make more than I already do because I'd have time. And then for walks, I already go on long walks because my schedule is so off. So when it was hotter, I was going on like 4-hour walks. It was great. But then, I mean, after a while, right, you run out of places to walk. I would go on a lot of hikes. That's what I would do. If I were here and had a car even, I would go on a lot of hikes. Yep. When I say workout, I always feel like I have to rush. Right. I get you. That's true. That's true. You do have to rush, right, with our schedules. I'm sorry if it's a little loud. Hopefully my mic is good enough. We're in kind of a crotch of a road right here. That is true. We'd be able to do everything leisurely. I'd have more midday coffees, hang out with friends more. I'd have more energy to do that. I would work out whenever and however long. Love to swim, love hiking too. I love swimming. I love swimming. I haven't swam in a minute. because my gym, I go to the gym in my apartment. And so we don't have a pool there. Uh-oh. Another ambulance. What happened? Uh-oh. I wonder if I should cross the street. Uh-oh. Oh, like a children's hospital one. Oh, cutie. Love Rottweilers. Okay. Yeah, that's me to a T. Yeah, I have to go to the rec center and all the prep after takes time, so I would just, yeah, especially if you're swimming. I don't know if you, you probably do. Do you wear a swim cap? Because that takes time for me, especially like tucking all my hair, and if I have beads, yeah, swimming is great. But yeah, if I didn't work, I'd probably get a job that I actually wanted to do, like work at a plant shop. There's a plant shop around here that I'd love to work at, just so I can still get human interaction. I just don't want to be in the corporate like matrix of it all. It's exhausting. The politics, the annual reviews, all that. It's annoying. Yeah, I wear one, but I cut off all my hair. Oh, I don't care about the human interaction. Oh, really? I don't necessarily crave it, but after a while, I'm like, I'm feeling a little bit of a void here. I'm already a little loner-ish anyway, but completely isolated, I don't know. I'm in Denver. Oh, I live there. Oh, yeah, you are. I would if I lived in a different city. I understand exactly what you mean. I understand exactly what you mean. You know, right before I left Denver, I had friends. We still talk. I made them at that job. Literally hired a few people and they were cool. We hung out and then I left. Can't let relationships stop your bag, I guess. Yeah, you need it. Keeps you sharp. Really notice that when you deal with 300 plus people in it. I want to live in Philly. If you know, you know. You know, I wouldn't be against Philly. And their food is so good. And the people there are electric. That's another city that gets a bad rap. I've lived in a few cities whose reputation, like in the media, don't match. Chicago is so misrepresented. It has its issues. It has gun violence. But I feel safer there than I do in Seattle. I'm just saying. You know where to go and where not to go in Chicago. In Seattle, it doesn't matter where you are. It comes to you. Now, Denver, in my opinion, has a really good reputation, but I hated it. I hated it. I just didn't like the food. The people are friendlier than here, but I was not a fan of the food. I was tired. I was like, if you give me another roasted Brussels sprout, I'm gonna lose it. In terms of it's needed and keeping you sharp, Fred, I agree. And you know, some of my people in my family who either don't deal with people or deal with a different type of person, you can tell that too. You can really tell, like, the average of who someone spends a lot of their time with based off of their behavior after a while. You know, their outlook on life, what they see as true and not true, what they see as obtainable and not obtainable. And that's why in my videos, I just try to be unapologetically, you know, who I am. Because the people that I run into, they act confused. They're like, huh, you don't fit any of my preconceived notions. I'm like, well, nice to meet you. Or even in your hometown, Chicago. Yeah, I love Chicago. I love the Chi. I agree, the food here sucks. The people are nice. I'm outside, yep. But it's not electric like that. You use that word, yes. It's not like New York is electric, right? You go there and you're just like, dang, Alicia Keys is in my ear. The first time I ever went to New York, took my breath away. Took my breath away. Love it there. Philly is absolutely beautiful. I'm just a city girl. Love cities. But, I mean, a lot of people for Seattle, they talk about our homeless issues and drug problems. And I get that. We do have those. We do. It was really bad during COVID. And I actually used to talk to homeless people before I moved here. I don't approach them now. But when they come here in person, they're surprised. They're like, oh, like Fred said earlier, I have no complaints, just the weather, if you get unlucky. But it's not too bad. Same, right. Right. Are you planning to stay in Denver though? Like forever? Probably until your son is up and out. It must be a good city if there's homeless with all that rain. I think, I think it is a good city, but even with the rain, it's like kind of on the warmer side. People say that it gets cold here, and I mean, it gets cold, I guess. But in my opinion, at least in Chicago, it would get to like -50, and then it would get really hot, right? So the West Coast to me feels kind of more, it's a smaller range of temperatures. And I think the real reason why a lot of homeless come here is because of the systems that are set up. It's kind of even though I don't see it this way, it is a homeless friendly city. Like there's resources, and then the people that we end up seeing out and about or in camper vans or in tents, they don't want the resources. But there's the majority of our homeless, they want the resources, they use the resources. I think that's why they're here. Or, there's the other side of the spectrum. Gavin Newsom shipped some people off from California up here, and then eventually we do it back. Apparently there's some of that going on. A lot of them are rounded up and sent to California, and sometimes they're rounded up over there and sent over here. It's a mess. And with the new mayor, I guess we'll see what happens. She wouldn't answer any questions about the homeless here, so don't really know what her stance is. So we'll see. Correct. Not cold compared to the Northeast, right? I tell them I'm gonna move somewhere warm, preferably out of the country, not sure where. I heard Portugal is nice. I kind of contemplate leaving the country as well. I'm not gonna lie. I contemplate it as well. Thank you. Because it's just not affordable to retire here, you know? Imagine me retiring in Seattle. Be for real. We just reconciled with the fact that we might not even buy a house because we don't feel like we have the money, which is crazy. Like, invest multiple 5 figures a year and still don't feel secure enough to get a house. So yeah, not retiring here. We're here for the opportunities and the food. And that's it. As you can see, it's not tropical. So yes, it must be a good city if you're putting up with this. My dad tells stories of how cold Chicago was. Oh yeah, but you get used to it and you get to wear like winter fashion. I miss being able to wear a Canada Goose. Can't wear one now. I mean, I'm wearing a North Face and I'm still sweating. So yeah, it gets cold there. Like Alberta cold. When I was in Canada, not Vancouver, Alberta, I was like, oh, this feels like Chicago. My face hurts. That's what I remember. I haven't felt that way in a long time. Leave the country and keep paying taxes here. Yeah, so that's a downside, but yes, actually, because you don't want to renounce your citizenship. Not Europe, that's like staying in the US, probably. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. A lot of people of color, if they do go to Europe, it's Portugal, which is interesting. You know, I like Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. I feel like we would be able to set roots there for sure. Or in like the Nayarit area, or even Nuevo Vallarta area in the state of Nayarit. I think we'd be able to stay there. But I really like Canada. And Canada has all the same problems. I mean, in terms of cost, they're so much nicer though. I would love to live in Canada. We contemplated getting green cards. But then January happened, and that's not looking like a good idea anymore. So keep paying taxes here. Yeah, you know, there's actually a tax write-off you get, a foreign tax you get, like a refund if you spend a certain amount of days outside of the country a year. I think it has to be consecutive. I think it's like maybe 330 days. I have a friend right now. Well, we're not really friends anymore, but she's living or contemplating living in Vietnam, Thailand, switching between the two, and like Saudi Arabia because she has a friend out there. And you can get a tax credit of like 30,000 plus a year for being out of the country for some days consecutively. Why? I don't know. I guess you're not getting certain benefits and so they're giving you money back. So yeah, I think there is a benefit of paying the taxes here, especially too, like, I don't know, it'll just be harder to deal with like work visas, and you want the conversion of whatever you're doing to be in your favor while the US dollar is still, you know, the way it is. I follow a few Black women who moved to Portugal, but no, I'm good. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I follow some people there too, and they're like buying houses, and I'm like, dang. I'm not brave enough to make that jump yet. New Zealand was looking great for everyone until the billionaires moved there and racism became more of a thing than it's been maybe ever. Really? Billionaires? Like American ones? Or just billionaires in general? Racism. Does racism become a thing? Does racism become a thing? I didn't know billionaires were moving out there. And I did hear that people were liking New Zealand. Don't they have a woman leader? I don't know if it's prime minister or president, I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure it's a woman in charge. New Zealand, I heard too, is really strict to get in there. I didn't know that. Thanks for that info. Yeah, you should look into it. If you retire outside of the country, definitely look into that. I think it's specific to if, I'm not sure if it's if you are still working or just in general, but you should definitely look into it. Like, it's a whole tax code. I was looking into it with her and it was giving us so much information. I was shook. In general, that's where the bunkers are. Really? Huh. So all the billionaires. So they're going to hide out in New Zealand and I celebrate New Year in St. Bart's. What else do they do? I'm nosy. I'd love to know. So across the street here is, we're actually crossing into Green Lake. So this is our third neighborhood now. We were in South Lake Union, through Fremont. Now we're in Green Lake. If we cross the street, I don't know if I want to go to that garden or not because the roses are going to be dead. Yeah, she's a woman. Haha, good question. Right. New Zealand didn't really have a history of racism because everyone got there at about the same time. Oh. Was it also, what's that word? Monogenous? Like, not different. Everyone looks the same type of thing? Because if that's the case, then it would make sense, right? Everyone got there at the same time and everyone has the same culture. That would make sense. And then with billionaires coming from all over, you're seeing differences. That would make sense. Yeah, she's a woman. New Zealand has a history of racism against the Maori. I have friends from there. Maori, is that native New Zealanders? Maori. That's, I'm guessing, native New Zealanders. Well, is it like what all the countries have done? Like, they suppressed them, they took land, and is that what you mean? Versus like doing that on top of slavery and segregation and all that stuff. That's deep. Yeah, but not really compared to everyone else. They would beg to differ. I never said it was perfect, but it was pretty chill for a while. Yes, the brown Kiwis. I see. And I feel like I'm not educated on New Zealand history at all. The brown Kiwis. That's what they're called, Kiwis. I was going to say like penguin. Like, I thought it was like, I forgot that the word they use, Kiwis. That's so interesting. Okay, so we're in a dead rose garden right now. You scared Fred off. You scared off Fred. Hey, History is so complicated. And it's so interesting too, the perspectives, how different they can be. With some people being like, you know, I guess compared to America, it's way better over there. That's pretty. Yeah, it's nice, right? Like everything's dead right now, but it looks even crazier. I mean, you can still see some flowers blooming, right? That's crazy. No, I'm here. I just saying somewhere has to be the least bad. Oh, okay, Fred. He said, you're not running me. I'm still in the MFing house. Yeah, I don't think the camera really does it justice. I'm not going to lie. But the fact that it's still very green, like they don't call this the evergreen state for no reason. And with Washington too, it's so easy to like, I don't know, you find yourself alone in places like this all the time. It's like eerie, but peaceful. I love it. I love that about Washington. You're just left alone, anonymous. It's gloomy, quiet. Oh, there's a flower still alive. If you saw one of my vlogs, I was walking through here in one of my vlogs when I was diagnosed with trigeminal neuralgia. I come here sometimes to decompress. We're actually next to the zoo. We're next to Green Lake Park. I'm not going to go down there today. I'm just going to, we got some berries here. Beautiful. So pretty. It is, right? That's one of the reasons why I like being here, is because it's just so green. And I'm a Taurus. I know you guys probably aren't into like astrology. I get it, right? I was born in April. I do have some earth signage in my personality. Not gonna lie. I enjoy a good walk in the woods. He got a stick. What is he? Oh no, it's a dog. Okay, that scared me. I was like, should I run? Oh. Hi. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice over here. It's getting dark, but the winter solstice passed, so I think the sun is gonna set at like 5 or so. Medicinal properties, deep red fall color. Yeah, so they grow like things. I always think to myself too, if homelessness was ever a thing for me, there's a lot of places where you could like get apples off of trees, and like even there, the medicinal herbs. Nobody like, yeah, you can somewhat eat off the land depending on if you know where things are. Yeah, it's crazy. Look at that. I'm an Aries. Oh, okay, fire. I mean, I'm not, but I too enjoy a walk in the woods more than most things. Right. It's so nice. I don't know signs well, but I read horoscope. I don't know what you would do in the Pacific Northwest. There's options. It's rainforest. Wait, what do you mean, Fred? What do you mean what I would do? I'm in the Pacific Northwest. Look at that. I'm in Seattle. You know that, right? I don't know what you would do in the Pacific Northwest, but there's options. I think I'm just not understanding the comment. I can't believe there's still roses alive. You got tons of plants to eat. I'm just not sure which one. Oh, I see. I'm just not sure which ones. Right. So, you know, there's so many apps now that can help you too. I used to be way more aware of what I could eat when I lived in Champaign-Urbana growing up, but I'm not actually familiar with the plants in Seattle outside of the trees. and like the fern, right? Because it's everywhere. This is what it looks like when it's hot out. It's kind of a gloomy shell of itself. I read horoscopes. That's so funny. I used to read horoscopes when I was younger. I'm just not sure which one's right. I hope it was sunnier earlier. I'm not gonna lie, the gloominess is so depressing to me. I don't like it. I don't like the gloominess at all. It makes me so sad. I just wish it was snowing. There's the zoo. I've never been in there because you have to pay to get in. And I'm used to zoos being free. Oh, there's a school bus. Let me move out of the way. I'm used to zoos being free, so I don't go into zoos I gotta pay for. It was the same with Denver. The zoo wasn't free, so I never went in. I think it was only $20, but still, I don't want to pay for that. I'm spoiled. Can I ask a money question? Mine, not yours. Yeah, you can. You can ask a money question. You can ask a mine money question or your money question. I tell my business. In the Northeast, we got wild blueberry and raspberry and blackberry, strawberries and mint, onion. So maybe the easiest place to survive aside from the cold. Ooh, mint is so invasive, but that would be nice to be able to have that for tea and stuff. Okay, so you guys get blackberries too. We get blackberries here. We're infested with them, and people bring pictures and they collect them all throughout the summer. It's so cute. The rule is to pick the ones that are above knee length because the dogs pee on all the ones below knee length. But people come out and they have pictures full. It's crazy. Pictures full. I want to do it, but they have little bugs in them that I am not comfortable encountering. So I leave them alone. But oh yeah, I forgot about we also have salmon berries. I don't pick berries. I'm not gonna lie. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to die. We also have some mushrooms too. Like we have morels. I've seen morels. And the rule with morels is if you see them, you don't tell anyone where you see them. But I've seen morels. Haha, thanks. Just open a Roth and it gives an option to contribute to 2025 or 2026. What is the advantage to put funds in 2025? 2025, 100%. You have until April to do that. The advantage is you only have a certain amount that you can put in a Roth IRA in a year, right? So once April passes, you can't put it in there anymore. And so you'll only be able to invest $7,500 this year if you miss that. If you were to put it in the 2025, you could put the 7,000 plus you'll be able to put 75 for 2026. So really you'll be able to invest 14,000 instead of being stuck just investing 7,500. Definitely, if you can backfill so that you don't miss out on any, because once that time passes, you can't go back and you can't over contribute because then tax time will be very painful. You can soak your berries in vinegar to kill the bugs. You know what? You're like the fourth person to say that, and I need to just try it and stop complaining. You're the fourth person to say that. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it here because I'm missing out. People make blackberry pies and tarts, and it's free. I'm gonna look into it. I gotta convince my husband or do it behind his back because he's not a fan either. I'll just do it behind his back. Mushrooms scare me. I'm not skilled enough yet. No, I get it. And the only reason why I know that the morel is safe is because it has a very distinct look. And there aren't any, to my knowledge, mushrooms that look quite like it. And they're expensive in the stores. If you see that for outside, you pick that. But like every other mushroom, I'm not touching because, like you said, they scare me too. I see a ton on the trees and stuff when I go to Oregon and hike, or when I hike out here and I don't touch them. Yeah, mushrooms are scary, but morels are not. Those are like the only ones that I would see it and just like put them in my pockets. They're so valuable. I never thought of vodka, or you can soak them in vodka. That's expensive. That is expensive. That'd probably kill the bugs though. I feel like in terms of alcohol, vodka is like the most violent. That's a violent soaking for those bugs. I guess vinegar is not much better. They're probably like, what is happening? Or like Everclear, that'll evaporate pretty fast. What is Everclear? Hold up, I have the book. Thanks, Fred. What is the book? What is Everclear? And what do you mean? The book. The Bible? What is Everclear? That sounds like poison. That sounds like eye drops or like mouthwash. That does not sound good. Everclear. Or like something you clean your windows with, like Windex. Everclear is really high proof. Oh, it's alcohol? It's like ethanol? See, you could tell I don't drink. I did not know what that was. I've never heard of that in my life. That's funny. But it's probably expensive again. Red has expensive taste. Very expensive taste. Everclear. It's 190 proof, 95% ethanol. You should only use it for cleaning or fire. Okay, so ethanol. That's what I thought. The scientist in me. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. You would die if you drank that. Cleaning or fire is crazy. I don't know the composition, but it's strong with a C, right? It's cheap as you can get ethanol. Okay. Okay. I don't know if you should soak food in that then. That's not good. You shouldn't soak that. You shouldn't soak berries in that. 95% ethanol is crazy. Like you put that in cars. I can't. That's gas. I guess that's methanol still. You would have to really, yeah, it'll kill the bugs in your gut as well. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't soak them in that. There's someone behind me. What is that? I'm scared. I'm guessing too you can get it in bulk. Oh my gosh. I need to cross the street. I'm not comfortable. He's walking so fast. Stop in and try our new menu. Okay, so this restaurant I've been pretty curious about for a while. And they have weird hours. New menu. Oh, he crossed it. Okay. Whew. He's not thinking about me. I'm being conceited. Yeah, I'm curious about this place. New menu is interesting. They got like sandwiches and stuff. I ended up actually overwalking. We've been walking for an hour and 34 minutes. Got a little carried away on YouTube Live. So y'all don't need a car in Seattle? Is it because you work from home? Yes, for the most part. That's the biggest part. There's some things that we miss out on, right? Because I think a lot of the cool stuff happens in the suburbs. Like a lot of stuff happens outside of the city that we miss out on. But it's doable. Like when we need a car, like to go to a cabin or like to go to Canada, we just rent one. It's pretty easy. And then it's like less liability if you get the insurance. You don't have to worry about putting miles on your car and stuff like that. But I do think pretty soon we will get a car. Since we're not gonna rush to get a house, it won't hurt to get a car. We'll just pay for it in cash. We'll buy a certified pre-owned in cash. It's just that having one in Seattle and not using it that's such a waste because they really, I mean, you know how it is. They really rake your pockets. Rake, R-A-K-E. Just so YouTube knows. The lawn tool. I don't want them to think I'm saying something else. Okay, nothing explicitly toxic that looks like a morel, according to the SAS survival manual. Oh, that's what I thought, see? Oh, you do have the book. Oh, that's the book you're talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So those are the only ones. If I see them, if you see them, you grab them. If you see them, you grab them. Because they're so rare. You can buy it from the store, but they're like $13 for a pound or something. Whew, I had to hold my breath through that. But yeah, morels are the easiest. Anything else, I wouldn't try it. I would not try it. I could go for one of those. I'm turning. It looks like it's gonna rain, so I gotta hurry back home too. I was car free for almost 6 years here in Denver. My son was 3, but this was before COVID, so I would Uber, Lyft, car share, bus, bike. But as he got older, more active, I had to give in. Right. So in Denver, I was car free too, but I was still working at the hospital for a bit in that bus ride. I lived in downtown Denver, like right outside of Union Station. Like it was called the Cadence, my apartment. I don't know if it's called that anymore, but it's across from Central was what the name was changed to, across from that Whole Foods. And I would go to that Union Station and get on the 20, and it was like an hour ride to Aurora to get to the hospital. It was one bus, but it was a long ride. Made it work. But yeah, I think eventually we're gonna need a car for sure. It's pretty easy getting around here because the bus system's pretty good. And we have a subway as well. So we have pretty good transportation going on here. But eventually we're gonna get a car. Gonna need one. The first sentence of the guide is, there is no reliable way to identify edible mushrooms. Oh. Okay. Well, I mean, that would explain why everyone's afraid of them. But there's this girl on TikTok, I forgot her name, but she has a song and everything. She's always finding things and showing us like things you can and can't eat. And there have been so many things that she's shown us that I've seen in Seattle, like, oh man, I can eat that. But I still don't try it because it scares me. And I think she's shown some mushrooms. I think she's a biologist as well. There was a mushroom one. I need to look at her name because she be educating. But I've only seen one mushroom one from her. She cooked them and everything. And she's still alive. But I've only seen one. So I don't think she really messes with mushrooms like that either. Okay, I'm glad now because I can get to more hiking. Oh yeah. See, I think because we didn't have a car, the only place we could really get to if we didn't want to get a car was Mount Falcon in what part of Morrison, Colorado. Have you ever been to Mount Falcon? You should check that out. It's right next to the steps, Red Rocks. It's right next to Red Rocks. Like instead of going right to get to Red Rocks, you go left to get to Mount Falcon. And there's two trailhead. There's, yeah, we have a subway. Right. Denver's trains are like white and on the ground in the open. Like what the heck? that used to blow me. But yeah, if you go to Mount Falcon over by the Red Rocks, you can either go to the bike friendly path or you can go to the walker friendly path, which is called Turkey Trot. And it sounds cute, but it's actually very hard. You should try it. I think you should try that hike because getting to the top is so rewarding and it's huge up there. I think they have like within people live up there too. It's beautiful. But I get scared on hikes. I still do them, but I get scared.